Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
From the Gettysburg Tour studio.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
All the DJs say this one's on its way. Number 1.
You think I have something down with science?
Shut up!
You're listening to From Studio 1A.
The popular podcast Addressing Gettysburg.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Addressing Gettysburg today.
There's no time.
Bullshit.
Oh, exactly.
Bullshit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. Hello, how are you? How are you, Waddle Doodle? Hi, Ronnie.
Hey, Matt.
Waddle Deedle Duddle, may I say to you?
Yeah, I know
Waddle
you explained that
Deedle Duddle.
one other time, and I still don't know what that
It's just some old idiot DJ that no longer has a job. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. I can't find us.
Yeah, it took 3 or 4 days before you were able to find the archived video, and I wonder if that's because it was our first live video on there, if they like do something extra or whatever. But I'm curious to see, because Facebook, the minute it was over, you could go back and start watching it.
Yeah. That's
So last week after we were done, and my tradition is that after the show, I start to listen to it in the car on the way home. See, if you want to ever improve yourself, you have to listen to yourself, which is awful.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't
Seems
there.
like a lot of work.
It's terrible. I'm so sick of the sound of my own voice.
Go on.
I was waiting for Eric to say we all are.
I'm sorry, I was doing things.
Did you find it, Eric? Were you looking for the show on?
No, I found it.
Oh, you found it,
and then
okay.
I shared it to the Facebook page.
Wonderful,
'Cause
wonderful.
I'm pretty sure people are still expecting it to show up on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. Kathy's
takes-
nodding her head. Yeah.
takes
Oh, I'm
a
sorry.
little
Are you here today, Kathy? Can I acknowledge you or? Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Last time Kath was here, we
She
weren't
was
allowed.
doing her Bernie Sanders, sitting there in the cold. Just, wait, yeah. She has the brown jacket and everything, actually. That's perfect. I just need some mittens.
And a
Just
mask.
sitting there, yeah.
My temperature on my laptop here says it's 21 degrees outside, and I came here at 3:30 and turned that heater on. And usually it gets toasty in here and rather quickly, but man, it takes a while to combat 20-degree weather.
People in here, too. You would think, a little bit of body heat.
Yeah,
maybe.
well, I
Not
think
so much.
by the end of this segment, I think we'll be back to, or we'll be,
What are we
warm.
expecting?
What?
What's going to happen during this segment for that to happen?
Well, there's a little mud wrestling between Lentz and Owen, and that should get us going.
Okay.
No, but so Mike Lentz is here, and as we said, Kath is here, and Owen the Clapper's back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Owen the Clapper. You were away for about a month,
Heck yeah.
right? And you had your break there from Gettysburg Colegio. Excuse me. And so how was your break? What'd you do on your break? What does a college kid get into nowadays when he has Christmas break for a month?
So you go home from college, and then the existential dread kicks in. You're like, all my friends are gone. So you link up with all the history friends you have. So Keith Harvey over at Central Virginia Historian and I spent like 3 days in Lynchburg.
Uh-huh.
We built a cabin
Built a cabin.
and sat out there in Civil War clothes.
See,
and
I like
miserable.
that. I like that. A lot of college kids, they'll go home on their break and they'll get high all week or all month or whatever with their buddies, drink their faces off, do stupid, pointless stuff. You actually did something literally constructive. You constructed a cabin.
Yeah, it was fun.
What kind of cabin was it?
A really small one.
Now, is this like an actual usable, livable cabin, or is this a like a Civil War winter quarters type of a thing?
So it was supposed to be a Civil War winter hut, and we built it 3 high and then dug down into the dirt like 2 feet. So it wound up being 4 or 5 foot high.
How long did it take you?
Well, we built it in November, and then we did some additions in December when we went out to use it.
Like
so,
a laundry room and
Yeah, we built a fireplace.
Yeah.
That
Oh, that's
didn't-
romantic.
Make sure
Didn't
you got
heat
all
the
the building
cabin.
permits.
did it do anything?
No.
No? Did it just fill you with smoke?
Yeah, no, it was awful.
Was it?
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't.
There's a science to it, you know. You can't just build a fireplace. Like there's a whole.
Well, we're guys in our early ages, and we were like, build
been
a box.
stupid.
Build,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Build box with wood. We'll heat.
right,
and
right.
We wound up just building the fire outside of the cabin.
Okay. Well,
so our tent froze.
now did you sleep in the cabin?
No.
No,
It got
too
down
cold.
to like 13, 14 that night.
But at least you have the satisfaction. I mean, you can sleep out there in the spring and summer.
Yeah. Well, we tried. We tried to stay there. We stayed there till like what 1 in the morning.
Well, that's pretty
and,
good.
And called it quits.
I don't know if I can make it that long in the cold. I hate the cold.
It was miserable.
So do you? Are you leaving it up?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just hanging out there.
Great.
I mean, when we built it in November, we just left the tent top on it and left and came back, and it was pretty fine, other than the fact that Keith cut it with a chainsaw.
Oh, that's not authentic.
No,
They wish they had chainsaws back then.
I bet.
Well, all right. Well, at least, gas powered or electric chainsaws. But anyway, so yeah, so everybody's back. Eric's back, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Eric wasn't here last week.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people missed you, Eric.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Colby did a great job, they said, but it's not the same without Eric. So,
Oh, indeed.
I mean, that's just,
Indeed.
that's science. And I follow the science.
Yeah.
And the science tells me Eric was missed. Speaking of missed, and this is something that we didn't talk about. We missed it last week, and they will be missed by people who actually care about people they've never met. And that is all the dead celebrities, ladies and gentlemen. And, the celebrities die all the time. They're people, too. But we seem to have lost a lot of iconic celebrities, right? Of course, most people probably, the first one when I say that word, iconic, they think of Betty White.
Right, sure.
2,000 years old. But Louis Anderson just died.
Yeah, that was announced this morning.
Okay, Louis Anderson. Fat Man Louis Anderson. You know what movie that's from? No, nobody knows that movie. It's Jiminy Glick and Lala Wood, ladies and gentlemen. And what else? Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, yeah. That was also announced this morning.
Yeah. He died. And it's funny because my friend Pete and I have this thing going where when one of us finds out about the death of a celebrity, we will rush to text the first person our condolences, or not the first person, each other, our condolences, but we won't say who died. So like today, Pete said something like, my condolences on the passing of your favorite Family Feud host. And I said, well, which would be the least of my favorite? Like, which one of them,
Yeah.
And then I went through and I was like, oh, yeah, it's got to be Louis Anderson. So I was like, Louis Anderson died? And he goes, yeah. I was like, okay.
Jeez.
And then yesterday, I forgot what his message was about Meatloaf, but he told me about Meatloaf, too. So, yeah, I mean, they're dead. Sidney Poitier? Sidney
Poitier.
Oh, I've heard of him. Okay, Sidney Poitier. He passed away. And this is one I guarantee you nobody in this room knows. Peter Bogdanovich. Anybody know that name? Eric?
I do know that name.
You do?
but I
Okay.
can't remember where from.
Well, he was a producer and a director. He's been he was
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
you know how you would know him probably is from The
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, wow.
He played Jennifer Melfi's therapist that she would go to after talking to Tony
yeah.
Soprano.
Yeah.
What I like about Peter Bogdanovich is that he was a fan of movies and a student of movies and the craft and everything early on, and he somehow was able to interview people like John Ford and Alfred Hitchcock and John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and all these like classic Hollywood guys in the late 60s and early 70s, and he spent a lot of time talking to these guys because then later when DVDs were a thing, I had a Alfred Hitchcock box set, and he did all the commentaries on all the movies, and he really knew his stuff about different techniques and things, and he talked about conversations he had with Hitchcock about stuff. So Peter Bogdanovich, interesting guy. He's dead. Who else? Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, yeah.
This one was the heartbreak of the century. Okay, maybe not the century. But it bothered a lot of people. It's Danny Tanner. It's the guy who did all the voices and hosted America's Funniest Home Videos. He was America's dad for a period of 4 or 5 years or 8 years or something like that, and in the 90s. And he was very young. He just died.
Yeah.
Just died. But what was nice, though, was the last text message he sent, apparently.
Twitter or something.
Or not, no, it was Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter or Instagram or something like that. He said, you know, I love my life. I love what I do. I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore or something like that. And then literally died like a few hours later.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, it's so sad. Poor Bob Saget died alone in a hotel room. The guy died happy. The guy died happy with his life.
Yeah.
And he wanted more of it. And okay, he didn't get it, but he died happy. He died, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How great it would be if we could all die happy. Guarantee you, I'll probably die in some horrible way, like falling into a sewage treatment plant pool or whatever. And you think I'm going to be happy then?
Living in Gettysburg, your odds are better of getting hit by a car and pinned into a building than the sewage plant.
No, that's
I'm just saying, yeah.
I will never eat on a sidewalk cafe again. I swear.
I wouldn't even walk on them anymore. Forget it.
I know. I know.
There's a sidewalk attached. I'm not interested.
And it's like there's no way to protect yourself against that, because if the car's careening off the road and it's coming behind you, you're not going to know it.
Yeah.
So it's like you always have to like walk like in the buddy system and have one of your friends next to you, but facing backwards and walking backwards, which is, by the way, very good for your calf muscles.
Right.
So if you're looking
your
at
glutes
and your glutes, the whole backside of your body, and then you go the other way, and that way you could warn each other if a car is coming.
Yep.
You know.
Well, I don't want to like pour salt in the wounds, but that's why I actually think it's better to bicycle against traffic so that you see what's coming towards you. But
Amen.
I'm not a legislature, so
I know.
so I don't know.
I know. We need a couple of legislators to ride their bikes the right way and get run over, and then see what happens.
Yeah,
So
without
suddenly
any,
that
without
law
any
will
warning,
change.
at least. Yeah.
Well, it's because now you have electric cars which you can't hear unless you're going like
backwards,
5 or backwards,
I mean,
right?
Yeah. Because after I think mine, you can't hear it after over like 15 miles per hour. It makes like a very like low hum going through like a parking garage. But once you start driving, you don't hear it.
I don't like that. Those electric cars, the demented cord that they program it with, and I guess it's supposed to make you a little uneasy. Yeah, and it works. But I mean, I hate when I'm like laying in bed and I'm falling asleep, and then a car drives by outside, and I'm not far from the stop sign, so they start to slow down at that point, and then I hear it kick in, and it just creeps me out. Like it's like some kind of like futuristic movie where like, you know, they're just gonna come and like pull you out of your house,
spacecraft
and
or landing. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. So yeah, all those people died.
Ronnie Spector also passed away.
Ronnie Spector died.
Yeah, the Ronettes. Yeah.
And your namesake, Ronnie.
I know.
I didn't know that. I thought she had already died, to be honest with you.
Couple days. I mean, right around the same time as Saget and those guys.
Yeah?
Yeah. Last
Wow.
week, I think.
Yeah, and these are some pretty big names.
Yeah.
And Louis Anderson was just a big guy. But
I think his 60s, right? Meatloaf was only 74. I mean, like those aren't like old people.
no, but they're both big guys.
Yeah.
And I think Louis Anderson had cancer.
Oh.
I believe it was the big casino that
didn't
took
know
him. Yeah. I don't know what happened to Meatloaf. Did we find out how he died?
I don't think there was an announcement. The article I saw said they were
his
not.
heart stopped.
Just. Wait, are you being, are you being obvious or are you being serious? Like what?
Well, I mean, realistically, that's how we all die, isn't it? Your heart stops beating.
Yeah, I mean that helps. Poor Meatloaf.
My.
So,
Well, now what?
who are these people?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding?
Other than Bob Saget and Betty White.
All right. Well, Meatloaf was a singer. He had a couple of hits in the 70s and then later in the 90s. Of course, you might remember the song "I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That." 'Cause I would do anything for love.
Paradise by a Dashboard Light was a
huge hit.
genius song.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was a clever song.
It was. That's the one with Phil Rizzuto doing the play.
doing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I saw, maybe I read incorrectly, or maybe I misunderstood it, but I thought he actually was an actor in Rocky Horror.
He was.
Picture. Yeah.
On the stage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about that?
Also, Hair.
Oh yeah.
I think you might be thinking of Hair. Or was it Rocky Horror
No, it was
too?
Rocky. It was
no,
Rocky.
he was.
Yeah.
He in the movie or?
No, you're right. It was on a stage.
It was a stage.
production,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
He
got
was
his
the
start
biker,
in
whatever, but-
theater.
Okay, yeah.
And Hair was his first role.
Wow.
I think he had to be naked in that. Yeah. But anyway,
He was also in the movie.
he was in the movie as well. Okay.
Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah,
Show.
not Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
God. Paradise by the Dashboard, which is Stop Right There.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Before we go any further. What is it? It's just
Let
and will
me
you
know
love me
right now.
forever? Do
Let
you
me
need me?
know. Stop.
Let me sleep on it, baby, baby. Let me sleep. You know that one?
Yeah.
You don't know that one? Okay.
So the guy's basically trying to score, and the woman's trying to say, "Tell me you love me," and
Right.
he finally breaks down and says he loves. Yeah, okay, fine, love you. They have sex, and then they're like, now he's
then
praying
Phil
for the end of
Rizzuto's in
time,
the
right?
car.
Like, because it's like,
Yeah.
now I'm praying for the end of time. Like that's like.
Yeah, he said, I'll love you till the end of time.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm praying for the end of time.
It's a really. I can't believe
it's
you've
a
not heard it. But
Good teenage getting busy in the back of your car, and then Phil Rizzuto comes in and gives you a play-by-play. Nanny's taking off her shirt and rounding first base, and you know this song. You'll look it up, you'll know it. I guarantee you've heard these songs, Owen.
It's long.
It is a long song.
It is
It's an
long.
epic.
Apparently, there was some controversy because he claimed that he did not know what the sexual innuendo to the play-by-play for getting to third and going home was. When
Really?
when it came out, I guess there's some backlash about like, oh, this is not, it's kind of raunchy, like whatever. He was like, no, I don't. What do you mean? I don't. And they're like, come on.
Come on, Mr.
Why
Loaf.
would this make any sense in
Yeah.
this song if you don't like? It
Yeah.
makes no sense. Although like he's just doing a play-by-play of a baseball game.
Right. Nobody cares about the
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Well, maybe in his mind,
Could've
that
been
was
the
what was on the
baseball game
radio.
on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a light on the dashboard.
And then, okay, so who else is there? Peter Bogdanovich, I explained. Sidney Poitier. He was an actor.
Already covered it.
What?
We already covered that.
No. I'm explaining to him who they are.
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier was an actor. What was his big movie? Was he in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Yes.
Yeah, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Guess he won't be going to dinner anymore, ever, anywhere.
First
No.
African American to win.
What was that, Kath? Speak up.
Lilies of the Field, he got the Academy Award for that.
What's the film?
Lilies of the Field.
Lilies of the Field.
I think he was the first African American to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought Hattie McDaniel was.
Was also another one that he was.
Hattie McDaniel got it.
Yeah, she got it for
39 or 40.
For the lead, maybe. For lead, yeah.
Oh, it's a specific category. Okay, I thought you meant just first in general. So he got Best Actor, is what you're saying.
Let me look it up.
Sidney Poitier, actor. You wouldn't know him. He has
First
best
black person to win the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Best
Yes,
actor. Okay.
yes. I remember him now.
All right, and then
Heat of
who
the
else?
Night. He was in Heat of the Night.
Heat of
To
the
Sir
Night.
With Love.
yeah.
Guess Who's Coming. Yeah, he was in a lot. A Raisin in the
To
Sun.
Sir with Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, very accomplished, great actor. Louis Anderson, big fat comedian.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
That's what he did.
And
He won some
kinda
kind of
was
award
like,
for something.
he was
Yeah.
like the male Roseanne. He kind of like whined and
Yeah,
cried
yeah.
about all this stuff. He talked like this and crap and what?
Wasn't there a show?
How I
Louis?
know him as a kid in the 90s is that Fox cartoon Life with Louie.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. He was on the new Hollywood Squares a lot. He was also the host of the Family Feud for a while. A lot of people, ever since Richard Dawson left, a lot of people. Ray Combs had it, but then he blew his head off,
Okay.
I believe. And then Al Borland from Home Improvement.
Oh, yeah,
Remember, he was a host.
The neighbor.
Yep. No.
Was it
Al was the sidekick on his
Oh,
TV
that's
show.
right. That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then who was the other ones that were? Steve Harvey, I think, is the current guy, which I think he's very good. I think he's as
John O'Hurley.
John O'Hurley. That's right. The guy from Seinfeld.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on it for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't like it with him. He was too serious. I think Steve Harvey and Richard Dawson were the best ones. Richard Dawson, you got to go
I
back
got
and
one that he might know.
Who?
Because I don't know this. Jordan Cashmere died in January of 2022. Do you know who that is?
No. Does he do makeup
it
videos
was a
on?
girl.
Oh, does she do makeup videos on YouTube?
26 years old, died tragically.
You don't know
I
her?
don't know.
Oh,
She was on
the girl from
16 and
16
Pregnant.
From
MTV.
Oh,
I
wait,
have
is
no
it
idea.
the
I don't know who
blonde
that is.
girl?
I mean, I don't.
It looks like she's got
she looks
multiple
blonde,
hair
but I have no
colors,
idea. Yeah, I
so-
don't know who that is.
Why would I know her?
How did
I don't
she
know.
die?
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't watch 16 and Pregnant?
It just says.
She was 26.
Yes, sadly died. I received a call last night. No parent ever wants to hear. She passed away. She was only 26. There was nothing really.
Her final knocking up.
Yeah, it's not.
Knocking out. Well,
Kurt Arliss, he was a bachelorette contestant. He was 34. What is going on with these young people? Not that I don't know that either, but
I mean, I wonder, are young people dying more now, or are we just we have too much news flying into our faces every day that it seems like everybody's dying?
Oh, Kim Mi-soo.
Oh, Kim Mi-soo.
Also, she was 30 years old.
Yeah.
South Korean actress.
Of course.
Died on the 5th.
She was the first South Korean actress to win an Academy Award for Best Black Actor.
She was on Snowdrop and Disney Plus show Sixth Sense Kiss.
No, there's a guy that follows
There's a lot of young people dying. That's
Yeah, it's weird.
What's Kathy laughing at?
We die too, for God's sake.
Yeah, but we're not young anymore. Well, you still are.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I haven't hit 40
Yeah,
yet.
you got time. Live it up, buddy. Live it up, because it's going to go fast. So I'm thinking, oh, and this is the other thing I can't stand about when celebrities die. You ever notice this? You go on Facebook or something, and then, I don't know, Glenn Fry dies or something. And people go, oh, my God, Glenn Fry died. 2016, stop it.
Yeah.
Or 2016, what more do you have in store? Whatever.
Yeah.
And so people blame the year.
Right, because millions of people don't die every year.
Who else?
Exactly.
Who else are we supposed to blame, though?
Usually the president.
God damn it, government!
Yeah.
Why'd you let Betty White die?
I like to blame
Thanks,
a past
Obama.
president. Like I'll do that. I'll say thanks Obama or thanks W or thanks Trump or whatever. I never blame the current one. I wait until he's out of office and then I blame him.
Will Biden make it out of office?
Thanks Reagan. Yeah, Biden will make it out of office. Huh?
Chester Arthur. God damn you, Chester Arthur.
We're gonna
Thanks,
blame
Hoover.
We're gonna blame James Buchanan for everything from here on.
That sounds fair.
Well, that is
actually
fair.
sounds
James
okay.
Buchanan, God damn you!
Yeah, we'd probably been on a different course if he had
Sounds fair.
done things differently. Yes.
I went to the Buchanan birthplace expecting like a museum, like a justification. I was just out there. Like I went to Fort Loudon and
You
it,
just got bored.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. It's
Like,
yeah.
French and Indian War Fort. Let's go check
they
out
had it
James
closed.
Buchanan's house.
Well, I was like expecting like this house, and just like his presidency, the literal historic site is just a pile of granite rocks from when they blasted out a quarry. It was like, this is where James Buchanan was born. There's a pyramid of granite here.
I think we should have the Addressing Gettysburg today death pool.
We should
Celebrity
set up
death
the
pool.
official James Buchanan Presidential Library.
Just have it be like
Out there
like-
along 30, just west of Chambersburg, but it's going to be one of those
porcelain toilet with two books in it.
It looks like a little birdhouse.
Yeah,
but there's like a bunch
take
of
a
random
book.
The free
books in it.
library.
Bingo.
little
There we
free
go.
library. Yeah.
That's it. The James Buchanan Memorial Library.
That's good stuff. I like that.
You just put like random Pulp Fiction from the 70s in there. You can buy them cheap as hell.
Make it all movies.
So you don't like the death pool idea? Celebrities,
No, yeah.
Celebrities, not people we know.
I know.
Oh, I've
I
been
know.
involved in that before, and I felt like really disgusted with myself.
For celebrity death pool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, I still
Okay.
participated.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm a horrible.
Well,
human
it's good.
being.
It's just good to see, like, how good your instincts are for predicting the death of a celebrity.
Yo, I had Leah Remini.
The Queen's gonna
for
be
like
next.
Who?
Leah Remini.
Yeah,
For like 2 years.
because she's taken on Scientology.
Yeah, I was for sure
See,
they were
that's
going to
smart.
assassinate that broad.
Yeah,
Nope,
yeah, yeah.
She's still there.
Yeah.
Still here.
No, I see, but that's the thinking. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's where you. And then one day Leah Remini dies. God forbid, because I love her. She's very funny, and kind of sexy. In a weird kind of Queens way.
Okay.
But anyway, she
I
was
can't
the
picture
King
you.
of Queens. She was the wife on King of Queens, and she played Stacey Carosi on Saved by the Bell, of course.
I didn't remember her on Saved by the Bell, but I definitely know her from King of Queens. You ever see that?
Yeah. Why does that sound familiar? What was
King of Queens was Kevin James's sitcom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she
Okay.
was his
I
wife.
can't picture her though. Wow. Oh yes, I can. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what does she do? What does she do?
She was a
She
Scientologist
was heavily
and she
involved
left.
in Scientology,
Oh.
and then she stopped being,
Oh.
and has like gone public with. She has a series on.
Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix.
It is, and I watched
It's like
it.
3 seasons
Really?
where they're
Yeah.
basically just like talking mad shit about.
She talks to other ex people, and they
wow.
talk about. They all have the same
about
stories.
how it's like an awful cult.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
wow. Huh. I'm.
Yeah, no, she's
I
a
thought for sure that
firecracker.
was going to get her schwacked. And it didn't.
Hey, listen, it's not over yet.
That's fair.
When you know what'll happen is when her show is over,
honestly,
they will get her.
It needed to happen early in the show.
Yeah.
Like if they were going to do it, they needed to do it before like that started to gain traction.
So you're saying if they do it after the show.
What,
It'll
like
even
this
bring
deep
more-
into
bring
it,
more
now people are
attention
going to
to
be
it.
like,
Yeah,
oh
you'll be
yeah,
like,
no.
whoa, why did you
They
die?
definitely
Yeah.
killed her.
Yeah.
The Scientologist came.
Well, that's why I'm saying that, you know, like let's say her show ends next year, or maybe it's already done, I don't know. But let's say it ends next year. Well, then they wait 2-3 years when she's, you know, not in the news and they don't have the show anymore, and then oh no, car accident, you know.
In Gettysburg.
In Gettysburg, she ran
Against
into a building.
She was
Leah
having
Remini.
lunch.
No one would ever even bat an eye, though. They'd be
No,
like,
'cause
oh, okay.
that's definitely
Add it to the
plausible
statistics.
here.
Yeah.
And in sad news, actress Leah Remini died by crashing into a building in Gettysburg. Poor Leah Remini. She her ears are ringing out, and she's like, I've never heard of these
People,
idiots. Who
yeah.
are-
What do they do? Yes.
Why are my ears ringing because of these morons?
Oh, man.
Anyway,
Oh.
so
Sure, I'll come on.
all right, so nobody wants to do a death pool. All right, I thought it would be fun.
I mean, I can give you mine.
It feels
No.
really gross when you do it.
I know
like
it does.
you feel like a
I've done
disgusting
them
person.
before. It's awful because someday you'll die, and then you know. But anyway, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back, talk about a bunch of other stuff, and take your call 717-420-1978. We'll talk to you in a bit. Be right back.
Matt and the gang will be back after these words, but don't fret. Our commercial breaks are designed to help you plan your next trip. Stick around.
Bullshit.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going. But one way we haven't pushed too much yet is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. And that's a shame, because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or sip from your mug. So please, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. You just might find the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop. Experience the magic of Christmas in Gettysburg. Stroll decorated streets on a festive walking food tour highlighting the sights, sounds, and unique tastes of this historic town. Enjoy stops at some of the best eateries, all while learning fascinating facts about early Christmas traditions. Admire the glittering lights, decorated storefronts, and our grand 30-foot Christmas tree in Lincoln Square, all adding to the ambiance of the most wonderful time of the year. Get started on Christmas shopping for your loved ones as we visit a few downtown stores that offer one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts. A perfect opportunity for any last-minute gift hunting you need to get done. Enjoy a private holiday tour through the Shriver House with dessert in the Shriver Saloon. This special tour will transport you back in time to Christmases of yesteryear. So make a new Christmas tradition with your family and friends. The Christmas Tastes and Traditions food tour promises to be delicious, delightful, and decidedly local. Go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and book your tour today. That's SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettys Bike Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car and saddle up with Gettys Bike Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettys Bike Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Want to be on the show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
Why, Ike, whatever do you mean?
All right, we are back. Hello, everybody.
I like that. You don't always have that, like,
This song?
yeah, do you?
No.
I like that.
What'd you say, Eric?
I don't like it that much.
Not enough to see us
Not
dance.
his genre.
So, we mentioned Kathy's in the audience here
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
And last time we couldn't acknowledge her, but this time it's okay to acknowledge her. Maybe next
make
time
it
she'll
small.
actually speak.
Yeah. In Spanish, that
In
would be, oh.
Yes, Kathy, ¿ti te gustaría oler a mis chancletas?
That's way over my head.
What's chancletas?
Sandals?
Like
flip-flops, sandals.
Yeah. You get beat with them.
Yeah. Do you, would you talk for a second? Yeah. Eric, would you give her your headset so she could
make him move?
Oh, yeah, no. You're right, Eric. I just figured it would be easier for. Oh.
See, we scared her away. She's back to not being here.
All right, no.
she's
Kathy's left the
regressing.
building.
Yeah, Kathy's out.
Behold.
Kathy out.
Aquí, por favor, me gusto este programa.
You like the program. Well, muchísimas gracias. Gracias. Yes. Many muchos.
Oh, we're just mixing Spanish, Latin, and Italian.
Cerveza.
Oh, that's cool. We're just making words up as we go along.
No, you don't remember that word? Muchísimas? Is it muchísimas or muchísimas?
No.
Habichuelas.
Habichuelas?
That's all I got.
Habichuelas.
Dos vidania.
Green.
Listen.
What is it?
Dos vidania.
Listen, don't mistake the fact that I'm married to and live with a Spanish woman for me understanding any of that language.
I thought you...
it never gets spoken to me because apparently it's some sort of danger to me as a human being to know what everybody else is saying when I go visit her family.
You should bring Kathy with you.
But
If they speak
like,
very slowly. Wait, can you say that one more time?
Sure. She'd be like, they just said you're an asshole.
Why do you still... Never mind.
What?
What was that?
What?
Why do you still let him follow you around? What is
Yeah, right. Oh, Cam.
I'm afraid.
Okay. So, what was there? What was that I was going to talk about? Oh, okay. So February 26th is coming up. We have the big show again, sold out and everything like that. We could use a couple of hands. Maybe two other people. I mean, Mike said he'd help. Owen's saying that he'll help. Me and Eric will be there, of course.
I'm not going to do anything, so.
No, Eric's going to just sit there and direct. And so we're going to need people to move the things that Eric's directing around. And so if you want to do that, and also I don't want people who are actually bought a ticket to do this per se. But if that's the best we could do, then that's fine. That's what we'll do. But I don't, like if someone else, maybe missed the boat, this would be a chance for you to be able to go if you volunteer to help us with things. And you don't need to have any kind of production experience or know-how or anything. You just need to be able to follow a direction.
Lift box.
Yeah, put that over there.
Oh my God, mute his microphone. Because he sounds like Darth Vader.
Was he breathing into it? Are you breathing into the microphone?
You can't hear that?
No, I didn't hear
Oh
it.
my God.
No.
Honestly, I thought it was you.
Oh.
I was like, because we played the segment last week where you were like sniffling at Tim's thing. Yeah. I was like,
East of the battlefield, we have Culp's Hill and, of course, Rock Creek. And west of the battlefield, we have Marsh Creek. And Rock Creek actually...
So let me explain some shit.
These, important landmarks. So,
when I had just barely turned 18, I got a sinus infection that spread to the orbit of my eye. And it looked like somebody had cut a tennis ball in half and stuffed it in between my eyeball and my eyelid. That was pus.
Thank you. Thank you for
awful experience. But it started to spread to my brain, and so I had to go to UPMC for emergency surgery, and I spent a week in UPMC in Oakland.
oh wow.
And one of the things that they did to like clean out my sinus and drain all of this was they had to break my nose, go into my nasal sinus, cut all of this open, and I woke up with a plastic splint inside of my nose and a rubber tube coming out of my fucking eyebrow.
Yeah.
That was just there
Like for
specifically to
drainage.
drain
Yeah.
stuff
Ew.
out. It was nasty. But as a consequence of all of that, since then, I have had really poor sinuses. And so I sniffle constantly because I am constantly congested. And I have been for, 18 years now?
And there's nothing they can do about that?
No,
Yeah, move them
they
farther away
could
from the
do-
microphone.
like I could have
at Tim Smith's events.
like I could have my nose done, but that's
Yeah.
plastic surgery. I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
Because it's expensive and it's an elective surgery.
I
and
am a
I'd
very
have to
pretty
pay
man.
for it. That too.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was pointed out. Well, do you remember? I told you this. I was laughing. Do you remember when I was laughing during the thing? And but we talked about it afterwards. I think.
did.
Yeah. And because I started to notice it, and I was like, oh man, I bet he's been doing this the whole time, and he's right by that microphone. And sure enough, within like 3 days of it being out, somebody emailed me. They're like, I don't know who that is, but some dude is sniffling and it's annoying me. I can't listen to the thing. I was like, hey,
y'all.
Which I thought was really funny because if you listen to everything else, unless somebody actually like focuses you in on, there's like plates clanking and glasses being set down and like chairs shuffling. There's all this other noise, people talking, and it's picked up on your nose, man.
It's been annoying, like for most of the time, to other people around me. But let me tell you, when COVID started, and I had to go to like Giant, and I'm sniffling, people look at you like you've got leprosy. And you're just spreading that shit all over the produce, man.
Yes.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. You're lucky that Katie doesn't have misophonia. Have you ever heard of that? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You know what that is, Ron?
No.
Misophonia is this condition in the brain, and it's basically the part of the brain that registers sounds is like super hypersensitive and to certain sounds and even like visual gestures. And I lived with someone who had that, and it was tough because she had cats, and I'm allergic to cats. And then regular seasonal allergy season started. And so like from like, I don't know, March through May, it was just constantly getting yelled at. And then the rest of the year, it was also constantly getting yelled at. And it was like, well, I can't do anything. And so she would make me like do nasal spray,
Yeah.
And it wouldn't really help much. But basically now I can't smell because you're not supposed to do those for more than 30 days according to the packaging. But I would do anything for love.
Yeah, just not that. It's interesting because honestly, at the beginning, I thought you were for real making this up. Like that's why I was sitting here snickering the whole time. Like, what do you call it? Misophonia?
Misophonia.
Misophonia doesn't sound like
Sounds
something
like
made up.
I'm so phony.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I was like, I'm waiting for the punchline. I'm waiting for
No.
it. Then I
No,
started
it's
thinking
real.
about me so horny, and then I'm like, okay, this is so ridiculous. Like, this is where's the punchline? Right? Like, what?
Well, that was the thing. Is like
That's
she
how you
would
know
yell at
nobody
me.
takes you seriously
Right, I know.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem.
She would yell at me, and I would be like, "Come on, why are you always yelling at me?" And she's like, "Misophonia," and I'm like, "Well, me so horny, so let's go do something about it."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
There you
you.
go. Okay.
All right.
No, I drive
He's
Katie
back.
nuts with other things. Like I have this thing where I can drum with my toes.
Really?
I don't do it like consciously.
Wait, can you do it now?
Listen,
I don't know
listen.
what you're talking about. Okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I can definitely hear it. I can
That's
even
my
feel
toes.
it. That's just your toes, not your. It's not you're
That's
not lifting
just
your
my toes.
Everybody be quiet. I'm going to turn my mic up so it picks up Eric really
I'm
good
not
here.
tapping.
Go ahead. Go tap. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that
you
drives Katie insane.
I can understand.
Insane. And I don't even do it like consciously. It's like when people shake their leg when they're nervous.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like I
So
Wow.
you are a percussionist.
yeah, absolutely.
I was just a percussionist.
Indeed.
I couldn't do it with my feet.
All right. So anyways,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so this is the kind of group that you get to hang out with and help on February 26th if you want to.
We have some volunteers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have not turned people off.
Hey, how about this, folks? Email Matt, M-A-T-T, at addressinggettysburg.com, and we'll get it all
Will you
squared
do
away.
like the first 3 people?
First three. We'll see how it goes. We may not even need 3. I don't know what to expect, so
we'll have to
we
talk
probably
about this.
don't, but I mean, I would just like to see. Here's the reason why: is like I want to have everything set up. Doors open at 6. I want to be hiding at 6 o'clock, and because 7 o'clock is when the show starts, and you know how we are before this, and I go into the ignore people period, which is an hour before the show. I have to do that,
Yeah.
and so
Unless Cam's here, then you can't.
well, then you can't.
But anyway.
Yeah, you can't.
He knows.
Oh God! All right, let's see here. We got a couple callers. Let's take one of them here. Is this Cindy? You are on the airwaves through the cables.
Hey, Matt, it's Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just called to give you guys an update on how things are going with getting Patrick Gorman flown in.
Yes, Patrick Gorman played General Hood in the movie. We're going to try to fly him out here. What's up for the show on the 26th? By the way.
Right. So we put in for the original flight that Patrick and I agreed on. JetBlue, who was providing the tickets, said no because there was a partner flight involved in there.
He would have had to
So
get on another plane.
now-
Yeah.
connecting flights and so on and so forth. So now we're working on another plan where he just has a direct flight into Newark, New Jersey.
All right. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. I spoke with one of my friends back in Jersey who might come down for that, and I said, "Hey, would you be able to pick him up from Newark and bring him down with you?" And he said, "Well, he's not sure. He's pretty sure he's coming. He's not sure if he's coming Saturday morning or Friday night. So whatever. But then he had a couple of other ideas, Cindy, I'll talk to you about later, and we'll figure it out somehow." Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we get another 100 patrons or so, then we'd be able to fly them out ourselves. What are you pointing at, Veronica?
Kathy likes to be chauffeured around, so guess who gets to do that all the time? So we have all kinds of experience doing service.
What are you going to drive to
taxi
Newark to
service.
pick up Patrick Gorman?
Yeah, you want to go to Newark and get him? Take a week
We'll
off.
figure it out. There's casinos out that way, aren't there?
They're on the way,
City?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Philly?
Atlantic City is on the bottom of the state, but no, all the way out there's Hollywood Casino, there's Mount Airy, I think, and you got plenty of options.
in.
You can gamble. Poor man, he just gets off a plane, and you're like, oh, hold on, I got to make a stop, and you go in and play a slot machine.
Kathy's got to hit the slots. Get a little blackjack in.
No, nobody wants to see that. What am I supposed to do?
Well, Cindy, I want to thank you for the help and the donation of the tickets because, frankly, we wouldn't be able to possibly have him out here if it weren't for you giving us those tickets. So thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Like I said, Bill and I have, we're in the waiting period. We could also bring Patrick down ourselves too.
Yeah, no, we'll figure something out there. And you mentioned Bill, so those who don't know that this is Cindy, Bill or Wild Bill Etzkorn's wife on the phone.
Oh my God, I love Bill Etzkorn.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, he's not there. It's just Cindy, but
I just realized that we haven't had the phone number up this whole time.
Oh, snap. Snap.
But you know how you remember it?
How do I remember the phone number?
Well, I know how I remember it. I'm just
Okay.
asking rhetorically. So 420,
Okay.
right, is based on the
April
story
20th.
from last. No.
Oh.
It's based on your stories from last week about
Okay.
the CBD stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's 420, and
Sure.
then your birthday, right? 1978.
78, that's correct, yeah.
There you go.
Well, now,
In
see,
case anybody knows how old you are.
I never put it together that way, but now, that's the way
That's
I'll
how I
always remember
because,
it.
Matt gets high. That's how I link it in my head.
I do not.
I bet.
get
Is Cindy
high.
still there? Is that how you remember the number too? Since we didn't put it on there, because
That's exactly how I remember. That's exactly how I remembered it.
All right, sis, I knew.
Oh, somebody's crackling.
Yeah,
What is
it's this is what we got to do a microphone class because what happens is we get excited, we all talk at once, and we all go right in here. We should be doing this. You got to go away. You got to go back. And then when the phone is on, that adds another layer of schmutz. But anyway, so Cindy, thank you very much for all of your effort and all of your help and the phone call. And I'll call you either later or during the weekend, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Cindy. You
Talk
too.
to you later. All right, that was Cindy. Well, we got a couple of them here. Let's take another call. All it says here is the book club, but I don't know what that means. We'll see. You're on the air, the book club.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Oh, is this Steve Byers? How you doing, Steve?
Hey, Steve.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm just calling in to give an update on the book club.
Okay. What's the latest?
We finished our second book, Environmental History of the Civil War. And actually, this coming Wednesday, we will have the authors on for a Q&A with book club members.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
And filled with lots of questions, including 6 from our very own Mike 6-question lens.
Oh, did he do 6? Yes, that's right. I saw the email today. He actually lived up to his name. Yes. Yes, okay.
Yeah. He does have some competition, though, because Evan Clapsaddle also submitted 6.
Uh-oh.
So I think we're going to have like a duel or something like that.
Or that, or Mike's going to have to start doing 8 questions.
We can have them meet at Devil's Den at sundown on Remembrance Day.
Uh-huh. I like this.
They can fight it out there.
Wait. No. Because then one of them, i.e. Mike, is going to fall off the rock, and then they're going to close it for everybody else.
Well, they haven't closed it yet.
Yeah, that's true, Steve. About 4 times a month during the summer, there's somebody getting pried out from between the boulders, and they haven't closed it yet. And don't forget, there was that 8th grader who fell off the Pennsylvania Monument.
They didn't even close it for that day.
Yeah.
It was still open that day.
Oh, my God.
I was amazed by that because I was in town. I heard about it, and I was like, oh, man, they're never going to let anybody go up there again. And I drove past it that day, and I was like, there's fucking people up there right now.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah, what?
Did this actually happen, or
All right. Well, then, so what's the next book that you're going to be doing with the book club there, Stevie?
So the next one we're doing is Sickles at Gettysburg by Battlefield guide Jim Hessler.
Mm-hmm.
He's also been on the show multiple times.
He's in the Five Timers Club. Yeah.
Yeah, Five Timers Club. Speaking of which, is Martin Short still the butler for the Five Timers Club, or have we upgraded that?
No, he's definitely still the butler. Yeah.
Martin Short.
Martin Short is it was a skit that they did, and Martin Short was the butler. And
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Saturday Night Live has the Five Timers Club.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a long story.
Hey, Steven, can you hear? Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
What's that?
That's me crossing off all the stuff that you just took away from my news and events section. So thank you, appreciate that.
Don't worry, you can repeat it.
I'm teasing.
Someone might be late to the show. All right, Mike. Well, you're doing a great job. I hear a lot of good things about you from. I'm sorry, Steve. You're Mike. I'm looking in your direction. Sorry, Steve. Oh my God! All right, Richard. No, really, Steve, you're doing a great job. Everybody that I've heard from really has a lot of nice things to say, and Ronnie and Mike help you and stuff, and I feel like a real heel because not heel, but I really like a real shithead because I wanted to do the environmental history book, and I think I went to 2 of them. And all these weeks just bleed away. Well, you weren't on the second one. The weeks just bleed away. And next thing I know, there's a new chapter due. And I'm like, shit. I didn't even read the last chapter.
But
I don't even own the books.
I was going to say, in fairness, don't scare people away. Because honestly, look, I know I don't want to steal Steve's thunder now, but I will. We encourage people, like even what he's doing actually now is the people that have shown interest for the upcoming book, he's including them in the question and answer emails and stuff like that because we want to be inclusive.
Yes.
We don't want to, this is not for credit. It's not for like a project, anything like that. If you either don't care to read it, period, and just want to like listen into the conversation, that's fine. If you are behind on the reading, come join us. Like it's an awesome group, and there's always stuff to learn.
Well,
from
that's
these
nice
people,
to know.
So, yeah.
Now that I know that, I won't feel so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay, well that's good. But anyway, Steve, thank you very much for all the work that you do. When does the Hessler book club start?
February 16th.
February
So
16th.
Says post Valentine's Day, then dancing.
Okay, so you have time for romance and then time for old Dan Sickles.
Oh, Dan.
All right, well, very good. Thank you very much, Steve. I know that you're doing wrestling stuff or something like that today, right?
Yeah, we got a wrestling tournament going on. So
Yeah.
16 teams.
A lot of people don't realize, but Steve is a professional Jello wrestler, so that's what he's doing tonight. What, Steve? What?
Just a little side gig I have to do. Teachers don't get paid much.
Exactly. Support your local teachers so they don't have to Jello wrestle anymore. All right, Steve, I got to go.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much. All right,
Later,
talk
man.
to you later.
Yep, bye.
No problem there. Let's see. Well, we got a lot of callers today. This is what I like, ladies and gentlemen. I like to hear from the people. We'll do Kevin. Kevin, you're on the air.
Hey, how's everyone doing today?
Oh, pretty good, Kevin. How about yourself?
Doing very well. I enjoyed the Bradley Gottfried episode this week, and I'm coming out there in May, and I was wanting to see if I could get a tour of Antietam with him. I was wondering how myself or anyone else could get a hold of him to try to schedule a tour. That was a really good show, by the way.
Thank you. And, I just got an email from Brad Gottfried because I'm talking about doing an Ask a Guides with Town Guides.
Yeah.
And I said, so when do you want to come on and start doing that? And then you put me in touch with Ted, who's also a town guide. And Brad actually did defer to Ted. He said, I understand you're also talking to Ted. He should go first. And I said, well, it doesn't matter because they come out later, so I can record you all at once, whatever, you know. But he thanked me for the invitation, and he said, you are what did he say? Gifted interviewer.
He was talking about you.
He was talking about me, yeah. And I've always been called gifted by my teachers, and I got to go into the gifted classes and stuff, and the bus, the gifted bus,
and everything like that,
and whatnot, and so on. So anyway, Kevin, what you're doing is how you would do it. Not necessarily calling into the show, but contacting us, and we can put you in touch with with Brad. So you just send an email, and I'll put you in touch with him, and then. I don't give people's email addresses. I give the listener's email address to the person they want to take the tour with, and then they contact them. So that way it's up to that person if they want to. Because, stalkers, Kevin, you understand, right?
I've been called a stalker before. So.
Hey, Kevin, by the way, is this is Kevin Randolph, the recipient of the very first Dan Sickles Award.
Dan Butterfield.
No, Dan Sickles.
What?
He's the one who burned his foot on the...
Oh!
So you get injured on one of our tours, you get a Dan Sickles Award, which I have to get one made. I have to get an award made so that it, has more meaning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which should be half
Can I
off
get
if you
that? Can I get that by May?
Figurine.
That'll be ready by May.
I'll try to get it ready by May. Yeah. I found a way. Yeah, I'm working on something.
You gotta get like some cheap Barbie dolls and just cut off
Cuff
the
a
right
leg.
leg,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
above the knee, and
Yeah.
just give
Put it
them
on a
peace.
I love that idea. Okay, that's better than the idea I had. So, I'm gonna do that. Just get a Ken doll.
It doesn't matter. Just
put a little burn on it too.
Yeah. Oh, a little burn. Oh, maybe that's what we should do. We could take like a Ken doll, or if a woman, a Barbie doll. And doctor the doll in whatever way reflects the injury that person got. So I can just take a lighter and burn Ken's foot. Then, and there you go. That's the Dan Sickles Award. Anyway, thank you for that, though, the compliment about the Brad Gottfried episode as well there, Kevin. Anything else, buddy?
No, I think I'm good. Thank y'all. Good show.
Thank you very much. How's your foot doing?
It's all good. All better.
Good. All right, Kevin. You have a you're in Texas. What's the weather down there like today?
It's really cold for Texas. It was like 15 this morning, but fortunately we didn't lose all power like we did last February. So
Yeah. Well, all right. Enjoy the colds. Enjoy getting a taste of what we're going through, because it's now 19 degrees here. Okay. All right.
That sounds really awful.
It is. It is.
Talk to y'all later.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. What the hell's so funny over there? What are you guys laughing?
Just thinking that about commissioning a monument for Kevin out on I-15. It'll be a bottle of like Presto antifreeze and like a foot.
I
and
love
then
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
In remembrance. The house is on fire.
And then we could call it the Kevin Randolph Memorial Rest Stop, and it's just a little place you pull over to pee.
Pete. The 6 questions trophy would be just a torso.
It's like the
No.
It's like,
It would be a used cast.
Oh my God!
It's like the Black Knight from Monty Python Holy Grail. It's only a flesh wound.
You're a loony. Oh God, that's funny. That's funny. Oops. Beth, I think I just hung up on you by accident. I meant to hit talk, so give us a call back. I'm sorry about that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I can call you back, so I'm going to do that right now. I hit the wrong button. My mouse pad is very sensitive, and I accidentally.
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh, come on! All right.
Stop
it. Okay. Okay, I think she called back anyway. Let me. Oh no, that's a different one from that area code. All right, let's talk to Clay. Clay, Mr. Clay R. Pigeon, I believe is the last name.
Hey.
Yes.
No, but hey, so I've been to Gettysburg several times, and it's always been in July. So I'm just curious what your favorite season for you'd recommend visitors come and see the battlefield.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll go around the room on this one here, Clay. I'll start and then we'll move around. Okay. For me, it really all depends on what you want to get out of it. But if you want to really like get a feel for the lay of the land and just kind of have the battlefield yourself to really absorb it and learn, winter is the time to come, because the leaves are off the trees, the crops are out of the fields. You can see it all just denuded of everything that obscures your view during the summer. Now, here's the problem with winter, though. It's windy out there. And I mean, a 50-degree day could feel like a 20-degree day if the wind is strong enough. So just keep that in mind. It's not as enjoyable. But then, on the other hand, in the summer, it's hot as hell, as you know, because you come in July. So that's also not enjoyable. But not to me, it's not as bad as freezing your nuts off. Pardon my French. We'll go to Veronica. She'll give you her answer now.
Well, I agree. I mean, but I actually like late fall for the same reasons, except there's not as cold. You don't have to worry about snow, that kind of stuff.
Late fall is good.
Once the leaves are off, when it's just nice enough to have a little hoodie and walk around, that's ideal for me. I don't like the heat anymore. Definitely don't like tramping around when it's cold. Like
So fall, spring.
Like late fall. Yeah, even spring, because I think it's like, if it rained, then it gets mushy.
muddy.
And like I don't like that either. But
Not as fun. All right. Well, let's go to the boy Owen here, the clapper, Owen the clapper.
Okay, so my answer is one season for the worst and best time to come, which is winter. So best for the reason you get the landscape, the terrain, everything like that. Worse because you realize just how much of the battlefield's been eaten up by development. So when all the leaves fall off the trees, I can see all of,
Colt Park and
all the subdivisions out there around the livery. I don't know what's
out on Hers Ridge.
Hers Ridge.
Yep.
So I was coming back from Cashtown today, and I was like, why the hell is there a neighborhood up there right on top of the battlefield? And I was like, well, damn, I didn't know that was there.
That's a good point, too. I didn't realize, but you're right. The summer protects you from seeing the modern encroachment around the battlefield. And then once the leaves are gone, now you can see it all. And looking out, from McPherson's Ridge to Hers Ridge, you see all the modern buildings and stuff. And when you realize that, Archer's brigade and Davis's brigade came right over those fields, and later the rest of the division and Pender's division, and you're like, man, that's a shame that that's all what that is. The battlefield should not start, in my mind, on McPherson's Ridge. The park should own everything all the way out to the first shot marker in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world. So we don't get that. How about you, Mike Lentz?
What's the question?
What? Oh, sorry. When is the best time? Season of the year? Best season of the year to come and visit?
Winter for sure.
Winter.
I think because visitation is down. Plus, probably winter before they plant the winter wheat, because that allows you more access to more of the fields. You don't have to worry about tramping through crops or anything like that. Greater sight lines. A close second is probably April, when things are warming up and things are starting to bloom out a little bit. It's also pretty nice.
October and April, I think, are probably the most ideal months weather-wise. Maybe May, early May. But but winter is a good one. And I hate winter, so I would never recommend winter to anybody for anything. Eric, how about you?
I hate it here. I don't come here unless I have to.
If you were one who liked it here, when would you recommend somebody come?
Never.
So even then, even if you liked it, you would say, well, I understand that, because that's what I say. Don't come here because you're gonna take up my home. But no, we do want people to come here, of course.
Like fall.
Fall, you would say.
Yeah. I like October-ish.
Yeah, and Clay, not that July is bad, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's just hot.
God, Jesus, it's so fucking hot.
Yeah. I
don't have air conditioning. I don't care. I have to live with it.
You're influencing the youth.
I don't know how you do that without air conditioning. I really don't. I couldn't even imagine when you get out of the shower, it's not even
go to my angry place and I stay there for 5 months.
Oh, that explains it. Okay, all right, that's fair.
Okay. Hey. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks. You guys have a great show. Just found y'all about a month or two ago, and y'all keep it up. You're great.
Where are you from, Clay?
Texas, north of Dallas.
North of Dallas. Okay, very good. Is it 15 degrees there too?
I think it made it up to 40 or 45 today.
All right, so it's warmer by you. Kevin must be
but it's still cold. It's cold here.
Yeah, well, you're used to really nice weather. Yeah, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we see you when you come up here. Let us know when you come into town, and we'll try to at least shake your hand.
Let me shake your hand. Will do. That'd be great. Thanks.
All right, cool. Talk to you later. Thanks for the call. All right, and then one more. We got one more here for now, and then we'll take a break and come back and round her out here. Go ahead. Is this Beth?
It is. How are you guys?
Good. How are you, Beth?
Hey, Beth.
Good. Hi, Ronnie. Matt, the offer still stands for me to go get General Hood at Newark. My house is only about 2 hours from there.
Okay.
It's a straight shot for me on easy.
Where are you coming from?
Jessup, near Scranton.
Oh, so you're coming from, okay, so Bill and Cindy are coming from that area too. And then I have a friend who's a half hour away in North Jersey. So we'll figure it out based on everything, but I haven't forgotten that that you offered to do that. So don't worry about it.
I'll pick them up in the Longstreet Mobile.
What's the Longstreet Mobile? Is that your car?
That's my vehicle. I just got it personalized. I got the Gettysburg Monument plate, and Longstreet is the personalization I got on it.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Now the Longstreet Mobile.
Well, I'm sure he would love that. But yeah, it's now. let me ask you this: if you pick him up, are you a talker or a listener?
I'm a little bit of both. I'd probably be more of a listener because I'd be a little bit awestruck.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, he's a very friendly guy, so you'll get very comfortable very quickly around him. He's
wonderful.
Very nice, and he likes to talk, and he's got great stories about the old days in Hollywood. If you're interested in that stuff, or just a lot, he's lived a very interesting life. So yeah, if I will bless you. What the hell was that?
Eric, are you okay?
Yeah, no, my sneezes are they're always violent.
How did you know that was Eric?
Sometimes they hurt my back, actually.
Yeah, I've had those.
That one hurt my back.
It was
Oh my God, Eric.
Snifflegate.
Which
Snifflegate. Snifflegate.
Snifflegate. Oh, that's funny. Snifflegate. Poor Eric.
These, important landmarks. So, because it was an obstacle for the Confederate units that attacked Cobb's Hill. But, there's no place.
Okay. All right, Beth, I have to take a break. But thank you very much for calling, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten you.
No problem. And I'll see you guys at the end of February.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Beth.
We'll talk to you later.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
sorry.
Bye.
I didn't mean to hit. I think I hung up on her. Oh, no, I haven't yet. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back. A couple of listener emails that I'm going to go through, and then Ronnie's news, and we will close the show after that. So we'll be right back.
Sit tight. Matt and the gang will be back in just a bit.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going. But one way we haven't pushed too much yet is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. And that's a shame, because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or sip from your mug. So please, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. You just might find the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop. Winter is coming. But that doesn't mean there's no reason for you to come to Gettysburg. In fact, there are more reasons for you to come to Gettysburg. Don't believe me? Well, how about not having to wait an hour and a half for a table at your favorite restaurant? How about not having to sit in traffic for a half an hour just to go 2 blocks in town? Are those not enough for you? Okay. How about seeing the battlefield with no leaves on the trees or corn that grows taller than a man to obscure your views? Now you'll actually be able to see the lay of the land. Ah, now I've got your interest. All right, what about this? Licensed battlefield guides that we have on the show have less hectic schedules, and they're able to take you on a tour that will enhance that better visibility. Just as I thought. Now you're with me. And now that you are, head over to addressinggettysburg.com/LBG or call 717-693-0182 for larger groups. That's addressinggettysburg.com/LBG or 717-693-0182.
Experience the magic of Christmas in Gettysburg. Stroll decorated streets on a festive walking food tour highlighting the sights, sounds, and unique tastes of this historic town. Enjoy stops at some of the best eateries, all while learning fascinating facts about early Christmas traditions. Admire the glittering lights, decorated storefronts, and our grand 30-foot Christmas tree in Lincoln Square, all adding to the ambiance of the most wonderful time of the year. Get started on Christmas shopping for your loved ones as we visit a few downtown stores that offer one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts. A perfect opportunity for any last-minute gift hunting you need to get done. Enjoy a private holiday tour through the Shriver House with dessert in the Shriver Saloon. This special tour will transport you back in time to Christmases of yesteryear. So make a new Christmas tradition with your family and friends. The Christmas Tastes and Traditions Food Tour promises to be delicious, delightful, and decidedly local. Go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and book your tour today. That's SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com. Well, the 2021 season is over, but that doesn't mean you can't get a jump on next season. In fact, Getty's Bike Tours will reward those who do so with a 15% discount. All you got to do is book a tour for 2 people or more between now and March 31st of 2022, and you'll receive 15% off your tour. So call 717-752-7752 and book today. Discount only applies to tours.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. Isn't it, Eric?
You're darn tootin', Matt.
It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more books to choose from.
But Matthew, what if the Civil War is simply not my thing?
Not a problem, my fine four-fendered friend. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books.
It's astounding how they squeeze thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more into their store.
And it's also astounding how you and I both squeeze into our pants every day. Well, handsome, they have a warehouse too, and that's where they keep all those books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs.
What if I prefer to browse in the store and don't want to go online to get my book?
Great question, Doodlebug. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or call 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207. Audiobook narrator Mike Scott. When selecting your next audiobook, choose from some of the great titles narrated by audiobook narrator Mike Scott, like Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864. And if you're an author or publisher interested in having your written works produced as audiobooks, give Mike a shout at MikeScottVoice.com. Mike Scott, the voice of history. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg Campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
Need a Corps badge or other insignia for your uniform? Then check out the Badge Maker. Here's what some of his satisfied customers had to say. Miranda said, "I ordered an identification disc from Joe and it's fantastic. He hand stamped it exactly as I wanted. It has a great rough on-campaign feel to it and was reasonably priced to boot." Greg said, "My unit has purchased from him in the past. Quality badges and good service." And Jerry S. says, "The Badge Maker is the go-to place for accurate replica Civil War badges. Visit CivilWarCorpsBadges.com and attach a message with your order saying you heard about him on Addressing Gettysburg."
Gettysburg, a Nation Divided mobile app, is relaunching this summer. Gettysburg, a Nation Divided is an award-winning mixed reality mobile application using augmented reality technology. It transports users into the most crucial moments in the Battle of Gettysburg, the turning point of the Civil War. Users can listen and watch historic figures share their stories as lifelike animated avatars, traverse 360-degree image sequences of the battlefield, battlefield. Its cinematic battle sequences are narrated by actor Scott Eastwood. The mobile app is available for free on iOS and Android. It's designed to be used anywhere, at home, at school, at the park, or at Gettysburg National Military Park. It uses GPS to help guide you through your journey to see the stories and events unfold at the exact location where they occurred. So go into your phone's app store and get it now for free. That's Gettysburg, a nation divided.
What's up, everybody? It's Pat McGuire, co-host of the History Things podcast. Co-host Matt Borders and I offer a fresh new podcast taking on some of the most famous as well as some of the most unheard of stories from U.S. and world history. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the History Things podcast. As always, thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
Dancing days are here again, and so are Matt and Veronica.
Brian Mallon on Monday's Patreon show, and Michael Eisenhut on the free feed talking about his book, Brothers of War, about the Iron Brigade. It's a fiction, but it's a very good book. It's right? You read it. Yep. I read it. Mm-hmm. Mike read it. We liked it, right? Eric, have you read it yet? No. Okay. Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong one. Eric says no.
No.
Well, it's definitely worth the read. In fact, I think I have a few free copies here. If anybody gets a Dan Butterfield, you can win it, and then it'll just sit here, and I won't mail it for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, that's about right.
I know there's 2 people that won like back in September, I want to say, maybe October, and I've yet to send them out because now I've forgotten who they are, and you know, they're very kind. They don't go, "Where's my free prize?"
Yeah.
You know, they don't do that. So now I don't know who they are. So maybe if you're listening and you remember this and you haven't gotten it, and you can send me an email, matt@addressinggettysburg.com. Remind me what it is you won and your address and all that stuff, and I'll get it out to you in the next 3 to 6 months. All right. So, Ronnie, I got a couple listener emails here. I'm going to get through them quickly because we want to get you out of here on time. Hey, Matt, huge fan. You guys do a great job. My first visit was a family reunion to Gettysburg in 1985 when I was in high school. I was hooked, but the minor obsession didn't start until our kids started college a few years ago. Gettysburg is a great halfway stop, and I've been there probably 6 times in the last 2 years. I even sold my wife on the occasional stopover.
Okay.
Sold my wife for some gas money.
Yes, important pause there. Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Lentz thought he sold his wife.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that in this crowd. I always stay, eat, and drink, and your podcast does a lot to sell the town, let alone the battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what I said? The podcast does, what did he say?
Promote the town.
Yes, your podcast does a lot to sell the town, let alone the battlefield.
Yeah, like that.
That's the idea. We want our listeners to know where to go. I was actually there last weekend and hung with some locals at the Farnsworth House and watched the Patriots lose at the Blue and Gray. I joined because Patreon. I joined because I work with a lot of small businesses and have a soft spot for people investing in what they love to do. It's obvious that you and your guests are passionate about what you're doing, so I'm happy to help, even if it's only a lousy $50. Looking forward to a bike tour this spring. Thank you very much for that. Who is that? Keep up the great work. Tim. His name is Tim. David Kramer says, through the Gettysburg Foundation and other website interactions, I found you. Always been a fan of the Civil War and especially Gettysburg, and I've been touring it since the late 50s. Enjoy the experts discussing the battle and presenting their views of what happened, how it came about, who was there, and its aftermath. Enjoy helping others who also like this stuff and getting the word out. So this is why he became a patron. Good luck. Also love your topics and especially Tim's stuff. Everybody loves Tim's stuff. Christopher Beckett says, I love to support small projects. I was recently driving back from PA/DC and wanted to listen to some Civil War Gettysburg podcasts, then found yours and the Patreon. Gail Henderson rounds it off today, and she says, "Thank you for having Dr. Schrader and Fran as your guests. Last year, I suggested them for future podcasts, although I may not have been the only one to do so. I worked for Dr. Schrader here at the office in Johnstown. He is very interesting and loves what he does. I appreciate all you do. Keep doing what you're doing." Gail Henderson, thank you very much, Gail.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, a lot of people really seem to like that medical episode.
Yeah.
Got a lot of emails and just talking to people or whatever this week, and that was a lot of fun to do. I could go on. I could have done that for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Talk to them about that stuff because there's so many things. I'm so fascinated with
It's an
them.
interesting subject, and they have such a good rapport.
Yeah.
Given their background. So.
Now, Mike, did you talk to Rick at all about maybe something that he could do for your hip or your hamstring? I know he's a orthopedic surgeon, but maybe
it hasn't come up, no. But probably should eventually. Yes,
eventually, yeah. All right, very good. Then I just want to make sure that is it. And yes, I believe that is it for all that. I mentioned Brian Mallon and all that jazz. Did I not? Yes, I did. So here we go.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
Okay, Mike's going to take notes.
Take notes.
Here you go. Yeah. Oh, you got a pen. Okay, good. All right, Veronica,
All right, as per
dazzle us with
usual,
all you know.
Starting off with some sad news.
Oh,
there was
Jesus.
a deadly house fire just north of Gettysburg. A 100-year-old male victim was discovered at his home in Biglerville. There was an early morning fire on Thursday. So. Sad news.
Couldn't get out.
Well, the article kind of said that they were not planning on doing an autopsy because nothing appeared suspicious or anything.
Right.
But they were going to do a toxicology to see if it was smoke inhalation or something else. They said candidly, I mean, he could have passed before the fire started, but it was ruled an electrical fire. So just sad. The house was pretty beat up.
That's not, and I'm not making a joke here. But remember we were talking last week about the CBD and Delta 8 and all that stuff. And one night since then, I was laying there and it really hit me. And it's weird because I'll take the same dosage, but some days it's like it's not even there, and then other days it's like boom. So maybe it has something to do with what I eat or when I eat, or I'm not sure how that all works. But anyway, I was so immobile that then this idea popped in my head of a fire. And I'm like, I cannot get out. Someone will have to come in and drag me because I can't move.
That's wild.
I mean, I could move,
Yeah.
But I just felt so unwilling to move. and so and that and a couple of other things made me go, you know what, maybe I really don't need to be doing this. I think, even though I think it does make me feel more relaxed than the Boost Bar did, I think I need to go back to that because I can't function with this stuff.
I mean, relaxed is one thing, but the way you talk about this stuff, you didn't even have the munchies or anything. Like, it was like, I'm not sure that you actually are having,
I couldn't feel my
I'm not
stomach.
sure what you're ingesting, but it doesn't sound like marijuana components. I don't know. It seems like a little bit
So
more than
I
that.
asked the guy at the store, because remember, you always ask me about this. You've asked me, like, how is this legal?
Yeah.
Okay. Delta 8 has one molecule less than Delta 9. Delta 9 is what you get at the dispensaries. So that's why they're able, because it's been modified to have one less molecule, and it's a loophole because the law is written about controlling Delta 9.
Yeah.
So that's until the law figures it out.
I'm not an expert on this whatsoever, but I
either.
know if you read the statutes and stuff, it's based on like the metabolite. I mean, I don't know, like it's like, again, don't quote me, because I'm not looking at the statute, but it's something like super low, about like 2/100th of a nanogram of such and such is good enough for a DUI. I mean, it's like basically like trace amounts, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't care whether you have a molecule or not. You either have the THC or you don't. Like,
well,
so
that's a different story. But I'm not talking
Yeah, I don't
about
know.
doing this stuff and driving. I'm going to bed.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, even that's how, that's how low of a threshold they use for, like, intoxication.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
regardless. Okay. Yeah,
So the
yeah.
fire thing,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
a fear I have of not being aware that there's a fire with all the noise and everything going on. But go ahead.
So this is a little bit sad, and there's a little bit of a closure to it announced this week. So back in December while we were off, specifically December 23rd, there was a local family that has a house cat. His name was Chuck. The cat was out in the morning and came back to the house with an arrow in it. And the injuries were
I remember this.
so bad, Chuck had to be put down. So he died of that, and there was a fairly large investigation. I think there was even a reward and stuff, like, trying by the police department to try to figure out exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The police this week announced that they did do an extensive investigation. They believe that it was not an accidental shooting or a mistake of, some kind of like it was a rodent or anything like that, that it was not accidental, and a 17-year-old boy has been charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated animal cruelty as a result. So, I mean, they closed the case through some pretty hard work, it looks like, but it's really sad that it was actually, a family lost its pet to something pretty gruesome. So
Now, we're going to see this kid's name in about 20 years.
well, he's a serial killer,
he's
right?
a serial
like, that's
killer,
literally
yeah.
you start not valuing any kind of life and then going on to human life. Like, it's just
Because that was probably a thrill for him, and next thing you know, he's going to be in Milwaukee with a refrigerator full of human heads.
Anyway, so let me switch to a little bit of interesting and/or good news. So
Okay,
the
thank you.
Gettysburg Academy on West High Street. Some folks might know it because there's actually a shell still in the second floor window up by one of the shutters. You can see it's pretty prominent. It was the girls' academy at the time of the battle. The owners are turning it into a high-end vacation rental, and there's actually an open house. You can go check out the inside of the house.
Really?
Yes, which I'm actually kind of interested in
Yeah.
trying to do. But on the 23rd, which is Sunday, from 1 to 3, if you want to go check out what they're still calling the Gettysburg Academy on West High Street, you can do that. And the intention is the owners want to turn this into, like I said, it's going to be a single rental, so large family. I think it said, I forget if it said 4 or 5 baths, but
4 or 5
I'm sorry,
baths?
4 or 5 bedrooms with like
Jesus.
3 baths. And then eventually in 2023, they're looking into trying to have it as like an event space for weddings and ceremonies and things like that, because it's a pretty nice large piece of property too. So kind of interesting. If you're into
like that.
old buildings and historical buildings, this is your opportunity to go check it out.
I wish it wasn't during the lectures.
Oh yeah, 1 to 3. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together either because that's coming up in my events thing. But yeah, I know where I'm going to be on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, well, don't tell us now.
I know.
Wait for the event segment.
I know. Keep everybody
Drama. Suspense.
suspense. And some other good news is, that little 2.4 acre lot of land where the farmers market normally is, between Stratton Street and Carlisle Street. There was a purchase of that property in July for a little, I think it was $1 million. They are the borough officials are expecting in the near future to get the proposals for what that's going to actually look like. There's potential residential and retail development.
This is on Carlisle Street?
It's that flat lot where the farmers market is.
Yeah.
So it actually, which I don't understand how it has a Carlisle address, but it is a Carlisle address. But it sits behind that Rabbit Transportation, so I'm not really sure. It doesn't really abut.
Right, because the easiest way to get in there is off of Stratton Street.
Right, yeah, but it technically it has a
Oh
Carlisle
man, that's
address.
like right across from Matt Sheeds' place. He's gonna have to deal with apartments now.
Well, yeah, apparently a lot of them. The developer announced he's expecting about 70 or so apartments with
God.
possible like ground level retail space. Ideally, he wants to put in something that would be an indoor farmers market. Hey, look.
I'm for.
Everybody can't have it both ways. People moan and complain about tax revenue and there's this and that. This would be another residential place where tax revenue would be
taxable for sure.
Right, and if they're reasonably priced places, then you give other people an opportunity to live in
there's
town
other
and-
types of things you could build that are taxable that don't bring more people living here in my town. You understand? I want you to visit. I don't want you to live here. Please. Now that I'm here, nobody else can come in.
Fair enough.
Unless I want to date you. Okay,
All right, well,
but that's the thing there. So, and it's a Staten Island developer, I believe.
Yeah,
it's not even
it's
from
not-
here.
No. Mm-mm.
Carpetbagger.
Well, apparently a couple years ago, or at least a year ago, the borough set up a development corporation to try to like entice people to come and buy the land and everything. And the corporation actually ended up going bankrupt because nobody was interested. They were trying to sell it, I think, if I understood correctly, for 1.3. This guy ultimately bought it for 1. It's been in the works for quite some time, but they're finally getting like excited about actually having the specifics of the proposals being presented to the borough within the next couple weeks. They're hoping, if everything goes well, including like building height restrictions and parking and all this other stuff that need to be approved, that they can break ground in 2023 and possibly be done completely with the project by 2024 or 2025 at the latest.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, once it's built, we'll forget what it looked like when it wasn't there. So
it's just a flat lot right now. It's just,
it's a nice, big, wide open, flat lot with no people.
Right. Okay.
No noise. I need to move out into the countryside. I can't stay in the town much longer. It's not easy.
It's getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
Yeah, basically. All right, Ronnie, what else you got?
All right. So other than that, with just events.
Just events.
Yep,
well, geez. Well, what do we do for that? Not that one.
Live this weekend where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie and Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered.
The stuff like the commercial break, it had some outdated commercials, and that there where I keep pressing the wrong intro and everything like that. I have not been in here working I've been working from home. I take my laptop and the hard drives, I take it all home because I can't stand the cold, and it's just it's like now it's finally starting to feel warm, but I've had the heat on since 3:30, 3 hours ago. So ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry that you had to hear a commercial about Christmas, but you should still take a food tour with Savor Gettysburg Food Tour regardless of what time of year it is, although she's closed from now until spring. She opens up again in spring. But I highly recommend that you do that.
Never too early to start thinking about Christmas shopping.
It's
right. Get a gift card, and
that's true.
Take some pressure off yourself.
It's also never too early to start planning your trip for the spring and summer and fall.
All joking aside, it's not.
Yeah. So hopefully you do that, and you patronize our what do you call them? Sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I say patronize, I don't mean be condescending and everything. I just mean that you go and give them your business.
Right.
All right, Ronnie, go
so
ahead.
that's actually
this
a great segue. So
Thank you.
I've noticed that I kind of even if I'm not consciously doing it, I tend to talk about the events that have some kind of history undertones to them.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
great,
good.
right? Because that's
good.
our listenership.
Right.
But your patron just pointed out a good thing, and it actually hit home before that. The whole gist of the way you talked to me about this, what I understood my role in this AG Live to be, was more like drumming up interest in what's going on in town. And it doesn't necessarily have to be history. I've like I said, I've defaulted in that direction. But just a little, reminder, we have bars and restaurants that have live music. I don't know exactly what all our listeners are into, right?
We don't
I'm
either.
not going to give you a whole list of like on Wednesday night there's a live performance at the Gary Owen, but keep in mind there's live performances at the Gary Owen. There's live performances at Plowman Cider. There's Reed Cidery has live throughout the summer. There's all kinds of different things to kind of think outside the box, guys. So if you're interested in doing things, some suggestions. The Arts Council here is always doing something. Just this coming week they're having a stained glass demonstration, how to do it. You sign up for the class. They're going to do a little stained glass presentation with you.
Wow, that's
they
cool.
have pottery classes. They have cooking lessons. They have dance lessons. The YWCA around here does all kinds of aerobic classes. They have a walking club. I mean, there's so much going on in Gettysburg that's not necessarily history related. I feel bad for having glossed over all that, but keep in mind that this is not just a history town. Like it's a thriving
a modern
community
town.
for people that live here. So there's always stuff to do, guys.
And anybody watching out there who might have a business, like we're doing this version of our show, this live Friday show, for you to get you out there so that people. Well, it's for the audience, but it's so that they know what the hell to do here. Because I think a lot of people, they're interested in the battle. It brings them here. They go to the battlefield, and then maybe they kind of just putz around lackadaisical and all. At night, maybe they'll go to a bar here, a bar there. But if they want to do something, guys, we're simple.
Yeah.
Go to a bar, sit there, have a drink, talk with whoever you came in with, or if you came alone, then you strike up a conversation. Then you go back to your room, you go to bed, you get up, you go to the battlefield again. Women and children
sounds like a nightmare.
Women and children are not as simple. They need constant entertainment, and they need their form of entertainment, and so they may be bored during the day. Well, nighttime is their time. The nighttime is the right time to be with the one you love, and go and do different things. So there's a lot of stuff to do. So if you have stuff going on, please get in touch with us and let us know, and we'll put it out there. Once every 30 days, anytime more than that, you're going to have to buy sponsorship. But we will give you one freebie once every 30 days if you want to get the word out, because the audience is growing. And they listen and they respond, and God love them, because I do. So go ahead.
They do. So having said all that, I will go back to my default. Just a reminder that the National Park Service is still doing their winter lecture series.
Yes.
The adult programming is still in person at 1:30 each Saturday and every Sunday. This particular Saturday, tomorrow, Dan Vermiglia is going to talk about Adams County's Native sons serving in World War II. And on Sunday, friend of the show, John Hoptack, Ranger Hoptack, is going to talk about Fantasyland Gettysburg.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I'm going to be at that one for sure.
Mike Lentz with the birthday hat.
This is a great weekend for that, because it highlights just what they're doing with this winter lecture series. It's not all about the Battle of Gettysburg.
Right.
There are other aspects to this community.
Right.
And certainly,
it's like they took a cue from our Patreon page. Anything to do with Gettysburg. It doesn't have to be the battle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. I'm looking forward to those lectures.
Awesome.
Yeah, me
and
too.
again, if you have kids, just a reminder, the Children of 1863 Museum is open Thursdays through Sundays, noon to 5 during the winter. And also the National Park Service is still continuing their reading adventures. Saturday at 11 a.m. Now, those are no longer in person, at least until further notice. Out of an abundance of caution with COVID, they are doing them virtually, but they can be accessed on the Facebook page to the Park Service. And they're literally reading books to kids like every Saturday, which is pretty darn cool, and they're all history related, which is neat. Of course, our buddy Tim Smith is continuing his winter lecture series. This Sunday at 6:30 is the moved monuments.
Yeah.
That's the topic. Which
both of Sunday's lectures, I'm really looking forward to.
I'm pretty excited to nerd out on Sunday, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Just a reminder, our buddy Randy Dreas has the website battleofgettysburgbuff.com. His winter newsletter just came out in December. So if you're interested in getting on his mailing list, just email him directly. His name is Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, Dreas, D-R-A-I-S, @gmail.com. So Randy Dreas @gmail.com. He'll put you on the battleofgettysburgbuff.com's newsletter. And there's some great, interesting information in that about kind of what's going on.
You just reminded me I need to finish writing the answers to the interview that he sent me.
Oh,
because
cool.
I'm going to be in the summer one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And I just did a photo shoot with a photographer for it.
No way.
Well, it's amazing what Photoshop can do, but I don't understand why I had to take the photos pre-Photoshop in a thong. But we'll see. We'll see what that's all about.
He has a lot of lady followers.
That's probably
Just trying
why.
to drum
That's
up
probably why.
for
For outtakes.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I was joking with Steve. And Steve Byers does do a fantastic job with the book club. But just again, a reminder: book club. If you're interested, the new book is going to start on February 16th. That's Sickles at Gettysburg. However, this coming Wednesday, we are doing a question and answer with the authors of the most recently finished book, Environmental History. I'm sorry, is that this Wednesday? The 26th? Yeah, 26th.
Yeah.
At 8:30 p.m. But email Stephen to get on the list.
Yes.
And it's Addressing Gettysburg Book Club @gmail.com. Not just Addressing Gettysburg at Gmail.
Yeah.
Addressing Gettysburg Book Club @gmail.com. And get on the list and come on and join us on Wednesday nights.
And it is so in demand and so hard to get into that my own aunt couldn't get into it for the environmental history book.
Get out.
Yeah,
No
swear
way.
to God. I mean, nobody,
Yeah.
Steve didn't know it was my aunt.
No, but I mean, yeah.
I didn't know she was going to do it, but she's like, oh, I tried to get into your book club, but they said it was closed. And I go, well, it's because they just started a new book.
yeah.
But, you're on the list now, so you'll get it. Yeah, go ahead, Mikey.
And just as a reminder for those who are wanting to join the book club for the Sickles at Gettysburg book,
Sure.
For the Historian is selling Sickles at Gettysburg, either
what I
in
like
store
about you.
at 42
That's what I
York
like.
Street here in Gettysburg, but also online. Make sure you mention that you are a patron or listener of Addressing Gettysburg, and you will get 20% off in the store, but you'll also get your shipping free on the website.
Right.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Veronica's very impressed by that.
Oh, wow. And I know for a fact we have copies in stock, so.
Oh, wow.
No wait.
Now you, Veronica, you work there part-time, but you've scaled back your hours. It was a little too much. So what day are you there now?
So I'm there Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Okay. So if
And
you want to harass Veronica.
If he needs a little bit of help, some other days too, but Tuesdays.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right, so Tuesdays, you can go in there and you can bother Veronica.
Yeah.
Anytime you like, and Sarah thinks that's funny. All right, is that all you have?
That's it.
Oh, my God.
Have a good weekend.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great weekend. We hope we see you at some of the lectures. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all you do, and we will talk to you next week.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clabber. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to eric@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. Get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
Saw the other like they had not seen for years. Hardly could they be restrained from big important cheers while we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia.
Look it up.
Corporate is very protective of their tape.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken.